continue just to
What?
go.
Did you think you'd won?
Yeah.
With that being said,
Nice way to end the season, right?
It's better than coming second, so no, it was good.
So overall, I guess, like, did you accomplish most of the things you wanted this season?
USATF is obviously in there, and then as well as
No.
my club track team back at home.
Obviously, the gold and the 1500 is missing, but what else?
No, that's it.
That's it.
The other day you were talking about how the mile was the focus coming in. You know, what was it like for you this morning when you got up prepared to run this race? I mean, how focused were you? Were you as dialed in as you were yesterday?
If I was,
Just as locked in to
Yeah.
this race, yeah.
this is what I do. It's, I'd say I'm pretty good at staying focused and focusing on the right things because that's what I enjoy doing. But at the same time, with me wanting to go and ending up going as hard as I did yesterday, of course that's gonna affect my body today. But I kind of felt better than I was fearing when I woke up this morning, and I did just a warm up at 6 a.m. So it's better than I was fearing. So, but at the same time, it's of course after a couple of laps I didn't feel extremely good, but so I could have been, easier on myself and probably just played back and just try to win. But that's not my way of racing.
I'd read an article, I think the Norwegian translation was correct, saying that you wanted the world record for every distance from 1,500 meters to the marathon. Is that right? And which of those records do you think is the hardest?
Yeah, it's about right. I think
Definitely me just fixing up a couple things.
that's just a question of definition.
For you, which do you think is would be the most difficult to race?
For me, definitely the faster the pace is, the harder it is, because I'm more aerobic based, obviously. So the slower it is, it's more just training, specifically towards running longer and in period of time. But I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's just about practice. You could say the same thing about speed and running relaxed at 55 flaps, but I'll say that's definitely the hardest part.
Does that include the steeplechase? Is that on your goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Easy on the back straight today?
Yeah.
And what kind of effect did that have?
It's of course I'm a very smart guy. No, but it's in my this is my job. So I love to race and I love to compete, but it's all about preparing as good as I can for every race. So when I enter the stadium, I always collect as much information as I can. The conditions, the direction of the wind, how much the wind is, in numbers. I don't think some people, of course, do it, but for me it's important to be as prepared as I can, and that's also having to know all of the conditions, everything that I can affect and not affect, and because it's important for me to know where and when I can spend my energy without losing compared to my competitors. So having a little bit of a reserve on the back straight and using the last turn and home straight as good as I can with the tailwind. It's all about maximizing your opportunities. It's good.
Yes. Diamond League broadcasts, they'll sometimes say you think you train 30% harder than everyone else. Is that
No,
an accurate assessment?
No, it's not harder. Just run probably 30% more than the rest.
And how do you determine that? Like based on mileage or what? Like
Yeah.
how do you arrive at that number?
Mileage, probably.
Okay. Because you're
Of course, I don't know what everybody's doing, but we're definitely the people in the event that runs the most amount of mileage, just based on the most of the runs.
Yeah, which is how much for you usually?
In the winter, of course, it depends on what I need. But my weekly mileage and training is it's very similar week to week from October until early May. And that's probably so 180 to 195 kilometers a week. But of course it's all about not being stupid in training, and it's not about doing just what you've planned, no matter. Of course, sometimes you can change a little bit on how you're feeling, and if you're in altitude and if you're traveling, etc., etc. But in altitude and training camp, you usually have a little bit more energy to spend in training, because you don't have, family and friends and other things to do when you're back at home. So that's probably when we do the most.
And in the competition season, what do you usually around?
It depends a lot, because we just do. I do as much as I need, and for me it's not important to do as much mileage as I can, because I have a lot of experience, and my setup, going backwards from a competition, it's I know what I need to do in order to feel the way I feel confident in. So it's a lot up and down. Of course, in some periods, in the middle of the summer, you can do a little bit more mileage, because it's maybe even 4, 5, 6 weeks until the next competition. But usually it's that's probably where most people get it wrong with doing our training, is that they believe that they always need to do the high amount of mileage to be able to do things that we're doing. But the important thing is to do it from October until May, to run a lot of mileage, and then tweaking it and using it as good as you can to run as fast as you want in the summer.
There are other programs or coaching or groups that have started doing double threshold training around the world, and a number of them have pointed to you and your brothers and the success you've had as one of the inspirations. Like, how does that make you feel when you hear that?
Yeah, you would probably be not stupid, but ignorant if you didn't, because it's definitely a very effective way of getting better in running. But it's like in every aspect of life, there's a lot of roads to take to becoming a good runner, or even good in anything. It's a lot of practice and consistency. That's the most important thing. And for some people, there are different models and different philosophies that's taking people to records or fast times. But with most people, the high mileage and double threshold is definitely an easier way of becoming faster.
Do you think that contributes a little to why you're able to stay healthy?
The most reason is because of you're able to stay consistent, because you're never going too hard. If you put too much in a Tuesday and Friday session, it's a higher risk of injury.
Yeah.
As everybody that's doing it, is showing.
When's the last time you were injured? Like, had a serious injury?
I'm always trying to push the limits, so you're always gonna have something. But the most difficult part is when you're probably growing and when you're trying to increase your mileage consistently without. But I've had my fair share of injuries. But it's all about knowing your body and taking a step back when you need it.
Yeah. Will you continue to try to build your mileage, or do you think it's basically
No, it's
as high as you?
Yeah, now
you should
it's
go?
in the last couple of years it's probably been as high as it gets, and I would say I rather quickly when I realized that I've filled the cup a little bit too much, and then it's just about trying to do that for a couple of weeks, but not pushing it further.
Have you given a thought to how fast you might be able to run a marathon, and what's your mental picture?
I don't really enjoy, talking about what could be, because it's easier to just do it. So I think time will tell how fast I can run the marathon, but I will definitely give it a go. And if some people can do something, I believe I can do it better. Just my way of thinking and my way of staying motivated. But
Would your goal to be the first person to run under 2 hours without the kind of assistance that Kipchoge has?
that would be a lot of fun. But I think we will see one day.
Thank you,
Appreciate it, Jakob.